Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have another true crime case. This one is actually an unsolved murder. It is my first unsolved murder case that I have looked into and done a lot of research on. I'm sure it's a case that you may have heard of already, and if not, I hope you are able to get some information from this case. And I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you for taking the time to hit the subscribe button, and of course thank you to my subscribers that have been here since the beginning. It really means a lot when you take the time to like or comment or whatnot. Pretty much I'm just trying to say I'm glad you're here. So the case that we're going to be talking about today is the unsolved murder of Missy Beavers. And Missy was actually born with the name Terry Leanne, and she goes by the name Missy. She was born on August the 9th of 1970 in Graham, Texas. Missy graduated high school in 1988, and she went on to get a bachelor's degree in 1995. After that, she worked various jobs, and it was during this time that she met her future husband, Brandon Bevers, and they got married in 1998. After she got married, Missy went back to school and earned a teaching certificate in special education. Missy gave birth to her first daughter in March of 2001, and she named her Hannah. After Missy gave birth, she decided to leave her job teaching in order to stay at home with her newborn daughter. In March of 2003, Missy gave birth to another daughter named Allie, and then in 2007, she gave birth to her third daughter, Sarah. Missy didn't go back to teaching, but she still really had a passion to help others. She decided to start to become a fitness instructor for Camp Gladiator, and she began to network online to promote her fitness program. She began teaching early morning fitness classes at the Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian. I'm so sorry if I am pronouncing that wrong. Midlothian, Texas. The classes started at around 5 a.m., but she typically would be there a half an hour early to set up for the class. On April 18th of 2016, Missy woke up at about 3:30 to get ready for the day, and at 4:16 a.m. she arrived at the church to set up for her class. However, she was completely unaware that she was not alone. 3:50 a.m. that morning, security footage at the church catches a person breaking into the church through a window. The individual was dressed head to toe in SWAT gear, and he was also carrying what looked to be a hammer. The person was just casually walking through the church, opening doors, looking around, without any sort of direction. Missy entered the church and was seen on camera heading in the same direction that the other person was seen just moments before. And this, unfortunately, was the last time that Missy Beavers was seen alive. At 4:35 a.m., one of Missy's students arrived for class and didn't see anything out of the ordinary at first. Another student showed up soon after, and that's when they discovered Missy. It was around 5 a.m. when they called 911, and that they stated that they had found Missy, and she was unresponsive and completely covered in blood. Police arrived very quickly and discovered that Missy was already dead. She had multiple puncture wounds on her head and chest, and to this day, the police still haven't released the official cause of death for Missy. They checked her vehicle and discovered that the passenger side door was open. They found all of Missy's belongings still in there, indicating that the suspect had no intent in robbery. Nothing was taken from the church either. So, the police began to look at it as a targeted attack against her. It was really difficult for police to pinpoint anyone who would want to hurt her. She was loved by everyone. She was a kind person who really went above and beyond to help others. From looking at the footage, law enforcement still don't know if the suspect is male or female. They did, however, notice that this person had a very distinct walk with a gait. The suspect is described as being between 5'2" and 5'7" with lighter colored skin. The police began to check other businesses in the area for security footage, and they found something interesting from an outdoor equipment store, which is less than a mile away from the church. The footage shows at around 2 a.m. a light Nissan Altima pulled into the parking lot, turned its lights off as it entered, and then turned them back on. The car circled the lot for a few minutes, and then parks near a bush, and then pulls out to leave. Police released the footage of the suspect in the church, as well as a picture of the car from the parking lot of the outdoor equipment store. The police began their information by looking those close to Missy, the first being her husband, Brandon. Brandon revealed that Missy was having an affair at the time of her death. He told them that he wasn't in the state at the time, and he was on a fishing trip in Mississippi, which the police were able to confirm. After this, the police then shifted their focus onto Brandon's father, Randy Bevers. It was discovered that just 4 days after Missy's death, Randy took 4 shirts to the dry cleaners, one of which was a woman's shirt that was completely covered with blood, which of course alarmed the dry cleaners, and they contacted the police. Randy told the police that his dog had gotten into a fight with another dog, and when they tested the blood on the shirt, it was in fact not human blood. It also turned out that Randy was also out of the state when Missy was murdered. People were still pretty suspicious of Randy, mainly because he seemed to have the same distinct walk that the suspect did. However, police did completely clear him and Brandon of any wrongdoing. Police were also getting a lot of tips about the same man, a man named Bobby Wayne Henry. He just so happened to be a former tactical officer. A witness also claims to have seen a dark SUV leave the church shortly after the murder. Henry owned a dark SUV matching the description. He also had the same distinct walk as the suspect. He was questioned, and he told police that he had a helmet and a vest similar to the one that the suspect wore, but it didn't fit him anymore, and he denied having anything to do with the murder. He also took a polygraph test in which he passed. I don't really hold a lot of faith in polygraph tests. We all know that they can't be used in court, and there are so many factors which can determine the outcome besides the person lying or telling the truth. So, when lie detector tests are involved, I don't hold much faith to that. Wayne had been fired from his previous job as a police officer because 2 women accused him of sexual assault. The police did a search on his home, and although they did not find any evidence pertaining to Missy's murder, they did find on his computer multiple different child pornography videos, which he was charged for. In January of 2018, there was a new lead detective assigned to Missy's case. He said that the case is still active and he's still getting tips, but it doesn't seem that they're any closer to solving Missy's murder. That's pretty much all the information that I could find up to this point. There are many, many theories out there about why this happened, and I'll talk about them a little bit, but just remember these are only theories. So, one of the main theories that I came across was that it was a burglary or vandalism gone wrong. I don't think that I agree with this theory, just mainly because the suspect was really taking his time in there. He was in there for about a half an hour, just slowly walking around. He did beat out some windows and stuff, but he didn't really seem too interested in anything that was there, and everything in the church was accounted for. Nothing was missing. Nothing was missing from Missy's vehicle as well, or from her person. And also he was in a full disguise. I keep saying we don't know if this is a male or female, but the person was in a full disguise. If Missy happened to walk up on him, he could have easily just ran away and she wouldn't know who it was. Another theory that I did come across was a murder for hire, that the husband hired somebody to murder her, or the father-in-law had hired somebody to murder her. However, there's not really any evidence to back these claims, and the police have completely cleared both the husband and the father-in-law, so that's really all there is to that. It also could have been maybe a previous lover. We knew she was having an affair. I don't know if this was her first affair or if she's had more in the past, whatnot. It also could have been the wife of somebody that she was having an affair with or talking with. I don't know if I really buy into that one either. And then we have the theory that it's Bobby Wayne Henry, which we talked about a bit earlier. You know, he has the same walk. He has the same tactical gear that the suspect was wearing. The SUV that was seen leaving the crime, he has one like it, similar. But the police haven't arrested him, or they don't really seem to be looking into him. But I guess we never really know what's happening behind the scenes. It also just could have been a random person that we haven't discussed. Could have been anybody at this point, but my own personal opinion, I think that whoever it was knew Missy would be there. I think that they knew there wasn't a security system or security guards there, just from the amount of time that they were taking and stuff like that. They didn't seem to be too worried about any security systems going off or anything like that. They did probably, however, know that there was cameras because they were in a complete disguise. And that's it for this case. I'd love to know your opinions and your theories of what you think happened to Missy. I truly, truly hope that they can get this case solved someday for her girls and her family, her loved ones, her husband. You know, they deserve to know who did this to her, and that person needs to pay for their crime. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful, restful sleep, and I will see you again soon.